They ended with a megaton, but how do we feel about the entire Nintendo Direct? We are ready to give you our take. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and yes, Smash Bros, Smash Bros, Smash Bros. But what about everything else that was part of this 32, 33-minute Nintendo Direct today, March 8th? Gabe, overall impressions, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty.
I think overall, I am probably more pleased with it than you are, just because a lot of these ports I didn't play. I didn't play
Mm.
Okami. Haven't played South Park Fractured Butthole. So those are like new to me at this point. And you're not into South Park whatsoever. I know while watching, we did watch it together. The ports were an issue for you.
We'll get into that more specifically later. And I do feel like that is a major differentiating factor in terms of how you view certain things. Like if you didn't play Hyrule Warriors or Tropical Freeze, the mini direct all of a sudden becomes far more exciting. But if you had played those games, then I feel like it loses a little bit of luster. Any direct that includes a new Smash Brothers announcement, by all accounts, is like a thumbs up.
Yes.
You really can't, you really cannot escape a direct the new Smash Bros. And a new character, two new characters, and say, oh, it was
Maybe three.
whatever.
Breath of the Wild Link.
He's two.
Oh, I thought Inkling one and okay.
I think that boy and girl are just palette
Okay.
swaps. But anyhow, let's run through this thing. They opened up with a 3DS segment, and yes, we are a Switch channel, but I do want to touch on the 3DS. And by the way, let us know what your review, your take, your opinion of the Direct was in the comments down below. Give it a grade, and then give us some more specific thoughts. We'd love to see those, and we'd love to read and interact with all of you. But anyhow, let's go a little bit through this 3DS section. Of course, they lead with 3DS, and they opened with one that I thought was really cool. I predicted there would be an impressive 3DS game, and for me, it's WarioWare Gold. Over 300 micro games, the biggest entry in the series, fully voiced characters, coming August 3rd. It is not a remake or a port of any kind. It's a new game, which WarioWare, new game, August 3rd. That's a trifecta of terror right there.
Yeah, watching the direct with you was kind of funny because it was bookended by so much excitement. You,
Yeah.
you started off losing your mind over this new WarioWare game, and I don't play 3DS that often, so for me this isn't like cool. But I mean, I wish it was on Switch, and that's sort of my takeaway on everything 3DS. I wish it was all on Switch.
I think there's some really deep threads in these 3DS announcements. And we'll start with Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. This is the first one where you said, like, hey, I don't know why this isn't coming to Switch. It is very much in the same vein as the last year's Mario and Luigi remake update thing, where they upgrade the graphics and then give you a new piece of content, a new side story. It's a phenomenal game. Both of us have completed it. We
Yes.
both loved it. I think it's weird that it's coming in 2019.
I just think it's weird. Like, why isn't it on Switch? Like, I don't understand. Like, the 2019 thing is absolutely weird. I agree with you. But if you're spending this much time and effort in remaking this, why not for the platform that is your future? Like, why have
I think,
this for something that isn't?
yeah, to me, that's the first deep thread is that Nintendo is more committed to the 3DS than we thought. I
Yeah.
think that, I don't, I think it's much more than just them speaking it. I think they very much are because they are showing you that they have a Mario game coming in 2019. I'm confused why this is not a fall 2018 game. We don't know like a big fall lineup for 3DS. So I'm not quite sure why this would be announced so early, especially given how Nintendo has done these things. I don't know. That's a little weird to me. I don't know that I personally would replay it. If you haven't played it, it's a great game. I do wish that there was some better way to bring 3DS titles to Switch. And, we saw some crossover. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first, this one to me is the biggest discussion piece outside of Smash Brothers. And people are going to think I'm crazy, but Luigi's Mansion coming from GameCube to 3DS, I feel all but confirms that there is no GameCube Virtual Console in the works, or at least this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's GameCube Virtual Console this year. I also don't think that this necessarily means that there isn't. Just sell it to a different audience.
Yeah,
Basically.
I guess that's the case. It's just weird to sell a remake, and it's this year, sell a remake of a game with an updated look, new features, the map on the bottom screen, and you know it's going to be a full price game, a full price, 3DS game, and then come out and say, yeah, we got $10 Luigi's Mansion on Switch.
Yeah.
They are carefully making sure that the 3DS is still a valuable piece of equipment to own.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job of it, right?
I mean, Detective Pikachu looks interesting. Gabe, I know that was one of the biggest reactions we got from you.
Yeah, and the other biggest reaction, apparently Captain's Toad Treasure Tracker's coming to 3DS.
Yeah, so that's where the crossover starts. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is coming to 3DS with some Mario Odyssey stages. They also announced Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. Dylan's Rolling Western was an eShop game a ways back. I'm surprised that they're continuing that franchise, but I think it's cool. I like that they are, initiating new characters to the fold, per se. You are going to use an animalized version of the player's me.
They look kind of weird. Yeah.
It's action meets tower defense, which is cool. I'm excited for that one. It's coming out May 24th. I think it looks pretty cool. But we can move away from the 3DS. The last thing I'll say on 3DS is that WarioWare, we got a new one. It's not for Switch. We did get a new one. So next up is Strikers on our list of games we've made videos about that we want new ones. So fingers crossed for E3. Switcheroo. Let's go through some. I felt like it was a weird show. I felt like the way that they structured it and the way they announced things and the things that did have dates and didn't was really weird. I mean, I'm just going to start with, to me, the weirdest thing, which is that ARMS is getting another test punch for 3 days on March 31st.
They're trying to bring in new people, right? Maybe it didn't sell as much. It sold well, but maybe it didn't sell as much as they wanted to. And now that all the DLC is out, bring in new people.
I just felt it was weird.
It is weird, but it makes sense.
They also announced an ARMS US and Canada online open tournament. The first round is going to be in ranked match on the game through March 18th. And then the 8 top players in these preliminary rounds will have an opportunity to move on to the online finals on March 31st. Okay. The finals will be streamed live from Nintendo America. So I guess it is all online, but then you're going to be invited to Nintendo America.
I'm always invited to Nintendo America.
So that's that. Let's just talk about the updates. So Splatoon 2 featured in a very big way.
Yeah.
So big. The first way is in the 3.0 update. It's coming in April. 100 plus new pieces of gear, a trifecta of new stages, rank X, which is even higher than S plus for all you overachievers out there.
Yeah.
But more exciting is the $20 Octo expansion that I don't know. Okay. The puppet moment is one of the weirdest Nintendo moments. This may top it. The hip hop gangster Splatoon train with hips wide enough to deliver triplets. I was blown to bits by this. I was like, what is going on?
As soon as the direct ended, I seriously just wanted to grab my Switch and play Splatoon. I'm probably going to play more Splatoon in the next few days. Just getting myself ready because I like Splatoon. And
it's great.
Yeah, this version 3.0 was going to add a whole bunch of new stuff, new stages as well. And I want to go back and finish the campaign as well. I got very close, but I didn't quite finish it just because this Octo expansion, it looks so neat.
It looks awesome.
The bosses in the trailer and, the weird, Octo late, I don't know what we're going to call her hips.
Octoline.
Yeah. I'm strangely excited. Yes, the trailer was a little overlong and very, very weird. The train sequence where it did the dun and there's one of the characters making a weird pose that kind of freaked me out. A little Cowboy Bebop-ish.
I'm sad that the weirdness from that trailer is not going to be in the missions. Yes, there's that weirdness in the dialogue and in the trailers, but I almost wish that more of that. I wish this campaign was hey, running through this train and doing things in a different way. It's 80 missions, as well as new stories that shed new light on beloved characters. The missions very much looked in the style of Splatoon, which is what you'd expect. But when it was going through the train, I was kind of hopeful we'd get this more gritty, almost narrative-driven Splatoon. I thought that would have been so cool. I'm sad they didn't go that route. But buying this for $20 allows you to play as Agent 8 and Octoline, and she is suffering from amnesia, so you're going to uncover that, and then it also will open up the ability for you to play as Octolines in multiplayer, which is something people have clamored for since the original game. It's something that was found in data files, never really actualized. Now it's a thing. You can pre-order it now to immediately get some Octo-themed headphones and a shirt. And it's going to come this summer. No date on that. But hey, 80 missions and the ability to play Octopath multiplayer, I think that's fair as heck for $20.
Yeah, like other than Smash, that's the thing I'm excited for the most. That $20 expansion. Like I legit think it looks like really cool.
I feel like even though it was not there, the fact that they are so extensively pushing ARMS post-launch, and the fact that they're so extensively supporting Splatoon 2 post-launch, Mario Odyssey's got to get its due at some point, right?
E3, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the absence worries me about DLC, but then the fact that they're pushing these other games. I mean, look, Splatoon 2 came out in July, right? So 8 months later, we get an announcement of single-player DLC. E3 would be 8 months after Mario Odyssey, so that's how I feel. This is something I really want to just point real quick. Splatoon 2 had 32 missions, and they're saying that this new single-player campaign has 80. I'm not sure if that's incorrect.
That's what the press release says, to be clear.
Yeah. We're pulling this straight from them, so by all accounts, it's got to be correct, but unless they're shorter missions, or unless that's a typo, or unless it brings the total to 80, but it says the new single-player campaign features 80 missions, and the OG Splatoon 2 campaign was 5 worlds, 32 missions. So maybe they're shorter missions?
Maybe.
It's a little odd. Let's move on.
Yep.
So Mario Tennis Aces got a detailed...
Over 5 minutes.
Now, I want to separate this and say that I think the game looks epic. I don't think we need to know about every kind of shot in a direct.
The game looks awesome. I can't wait. The online multiplayer confirmation has me excited because I'll be able to play you and lose to you online.
Yes, right? That's very good.
They talk about tournaments happening, very cool stuff. You'll be able to unlock characters while playing online and an outfit. I'm very pleased with that, and the game looks phenomenal. I think it looks super sweet.
I feel like they have improved dramatically since Ultra Smash. It gets a little intense with some of the depth there, but it started to remind me of Strikers with some of the stuff that they're doing, and that has me excited because I love the way it felt in Strikers. They also have a purist mode if you just want to be like Sampras versus Nadal. I guess that wrong eras, but I just felt like saying Sampras. I know they're not in the same era. I played 4 years of varsity tennis. But they give you the purist mode, and then they also give you swing mode to bring back, I guess, the Wii Tennis love, which I thought was kind of cool.
This game is kind of a culmination of a lot, right? Because they're bringing in the single player stuff that's going to be way deeper as well. So I feel like this game is going to be literally for everyone that has liked Mario Tennis at some point.
Well, and it's clear that Nintendo views it. I think when it was initially announced, we were like, okay, tennis, that's kind of like a throw. They're not looking at a tertiary title in any way. They seem to be supporting this and packing it with content in a way that it is going to be a major Switch title for the year.
Bummer about the date.
June 22nd is late. Mm-hmm. I'm really shocked. It will be fun that it's E3 is over. We're so jazzed. None of the games are coming. Okay, we get Mario Tennis Aces. And they are doing a pre-launch online tournament. Very odd that they give us a ARMS Global Test Punch date and no Mario Tennis pre-launch tournament date. I do wonder if this ties into E3.
It might. You know how they love having tournaments at E3. They had a Pokken and a Splatoon one at last year's E3. Those lines for those tournaments were big. So
I don't know if it's even at E3. I just mean during hey, you can play Mario Tennis Aces at home,
which is a bummer because we can't. Well, I mean, sort of afterwards. But.
Or does it tie in to an earlier date? I hope it's earlier. It's going to be a 1v1 tournament. Looks pretty cool. They're calling it a demo, so I feel like that's odd verbiage because when they refer to the ARMS Global Test Punch, they don't call it a demo. Demo to me implies that it stays on your system. Test Punch and Test Fire imply that they go away, but they're also calling this a tournament, so I don't know. I could see them giving you a one-on-one character, just simple tennis match, but more than likely it's probably a limited event. I love the fact that it's got a good cast of characters, including your favorite Gabe Chain Chomp.
Yeah, he looked funky. I'm all about that.
I'm all about being Rosalina.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I like the fact that it's got bosses. And I like that they are really. I feel like broadening the scope of content from what you'd expect from a Mario sports game.
Yeah, we saw some of the level design as well. Besides the one that we had already seen, the very
Yeah.
cool looking temple stage that we saw. Awesome stuff.
A lot of colors, a lot of coolness. They also discussed the date for Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. It is May 18th. So they are loading up May and kind of passing over April as of now.
Well, April, you're gonna be playing that Splatoon update, the 3.0, the multiplayer stuff.
And Labo, I guess.
Yeah,
So maybe they want to clear your wallets so that you can drop your $100+ on your Labo kits.
yeah.
If you buy both. But we did get a date, which is nice. We also got a little bit of DLC for Kirby Star Allies. They are bringing Marks, Gooey, Rick, Kine, and Koo on March 28th. So it looks like they'll be adding new allies throughout the year, which we'll see on Kirby. But I am excited that they are supporting all of their games with DLC, and in this case, free.
Yeah, and they also announced that you're gonna have Meta Knight as an ally and Day to Day. Like you're gonna be able to have some of these as your allies as well, which they hadn't necessarily revealed, and now we know about.
Octopath Traveler, a darling of Gabe's life, got a little bit of an update. It is hitting on July 13th, so still a ways away. They detailed some more characters, and they detailed a pretty beautiful collector's edition.
Yeah, you get a coin, you get a map, you get a soundtrack, and as well as the game. I'm sort of excited for it.
Pop-up, Gabe, how could you forget the pop-up?
I forgot about the pop-up that you
the
asked
beautiful
me.
diorama pop-up.
Yeah.
That thing is hot.
I'm just excited for the game, really, and I'm glad it has a date. I wish it was sooner, but it is what it is. I think it's a very interesting take on an RPG, these branching paths, story-wise, and I think it just like looks beautiful. The magic and the combat itself, it just like looks very appealing and beautiful. Like I said, so
I will try it out on July 13th. So that is another post E3 ordeal. Now, interestingly enough, Nintendo also put another game on July 13th, which is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. We have clamored for this one from the get-go. In fact, it was a Jake joint back in the Jake days. The nice thing here is that they're adding some Mario Odyssey levels. We mentioned that. It's coming to 3DS as well. I hope it's budget priced.
Yeah, I mean,
it was originally budget priced.
Yeah, it was already budget priced. I don't think they're going to raise the price.
Yeah, dear God, do not try to charge us $60 on Switch. And that rounds out the Nintendo portion of this. We also got Sushi Striker: The Way of Sushido coming on June 8th, right before E3. So they're really loading up the summer this year.
Yeah.
That game kind of looks interesting. I'm excited to throw sushi at you. It'll hit 3DS and Switch. Then we move on to third parties. The first one, which I was very excited for, I'm now very worried about, and that's Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes.
That does not look good, huh?
It looks like a top-down beat-em-up. I really thought it was going to be just like No More Heroes 1 and 2, but it looks to be a far... Like, are you getting the vibe that this is a eShop game?
I don't know. I mean, because there's a lot. They did claim that there's like different, like 3 different gameplay styles. There's like racing, there's like action. So like there's a bunch there, but honestly, it doesn't look great. I was not impressed whatsoever. Like my excitement for that game got deflated quickly when I saw that trailer.
Yeah, because the game was so much about like precise attacks and just a cavalcade of moves and these really intense fights, and you just see him swinging back and forth like he's some sort of spastic Jedi. I was like, what is going on? They did say like a story mode.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was just weird the way they described it. Like, oh, hey, he enters the game world, 7 games, 7 bosses. You can play co-op. Oh, also story mode. Like, I initially thought that these games were within the greater context of story mode. That was my understanding initially. But now it looks like those games are the game.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way that this is just being unveiled oddly because it's Suda 51 and like there really is a full story?
I mean, there might be a full story, but I think that gameplay is what the gameplay is. I think there isn't like huge sections of like the No More Heroes that you're thinking about, because then we would have been shown that instead of this. Because this.
So you think it's this awkward top-down beat 'em up?
Yeah, I do.
That's a big bummer because at the onset of 2018, that was one of our more anticipated games, which I'm sad to see fall. There were 15 desperate struggle. There's 15 bosses in No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle. weird that they dropped it down so much, which again makes me wonder if it's
It might be a budget game or an eShop game.
Okami. Yeah, Okami HD is an eShop game coming this summer. It's bringing the HD version, which we saw previously released on PS4 and Xbox One, to the Switch. This does nothing for me. It's a PS2 game.
It's a great game by all
It
accounts.
is beloved, and I guess a good addition. You can't hurt to add stuff, but it's basically coming 6, 7, 8 months after the other versions and years after the initial version. So that didn't do a whole lot for me. We also got Little Nightmares Complete Edition, which is an amazing game. It's launching May 18th, and it has a Pac-Man amiibo unlock. A little creepy. But I'm starting to get to this point that I feel like a lot of our audience is that, like, I don't know how much these ports do for me when they're so delayed. Like, yeah, if I never play Little Nightmares and I only own a Switch, that's cool, but this is like a year later.
Yeah.
And it's an indie game.
I think that's going to continue, though. I legit think that's going to be a thing for the rest of the Switch's life cycle.
I agree. It started to wear on me a little bit, this direct. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy hitting Switch.
Good game, just very late.
July 10th. It's very late. It is a great addition. I feel better about that one just because it was such a well-received game. And not that Little Nightmares wasn't.
That was also
Crash
very
is
well
like,
received.
Yeah, Crash is, I guess, just bigger scope, and it's bringing the Bandicoot to the Switch and to Nintendo. Like, that's cool.
Your favorite game.
Hold on. The undertone, though, is that Activision is doing something else on Switch, which is good. And I still am fingers crossed for Black Ops. We'll talk about at the end about the things that weren't there. Dark Souls Remastered got a little bit more love, and they're bringing a Dark Souls amiibo, a freaking Solera Vastora Praise the Sun amiibo.
Great amiibo. Beautiful.
That's cool.
Beautiful, yeah.
That's really cool. They're also doing a network test, which they've done in the past for Dark Souls, so I guess it makes sense. No date on that. But, hey, it's going to be Dark Souls on the go. Undertale, Gabe. You want to play another indie that was released a long time ago elsewhere?
Also very beloved. People love Undertale. That won Game of the Year in a lot of sites. It's a great, great game. The thing that irks me about that one is, like, they're embracing the fact that they said, hey, it's coming eventually. Like, they don't care.
Yeah. I don't know, because, like, I'm still super pumped for Hollow Knight. Maybe I'm just slightly bitter that they didn't announce any date for Hollow Knight, although by all accounts it's still coming in hopefully this month. I just don't know, like, I guess at this point I did not know Smash Bros. Was getting unveiled, and I was like, we're really going to use a direct to take up time to, like, say, hey, we have old indie ports. Like, it's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm just starting to get worn out of ports, because before Smash and outside of Aces, you're looking at Captain Toad, Crash Bandicoot, Okami, South Park, which we'll touch on, Dark Souls, Little Nightmares, Undertale, Hyrule Warriors, Luigi's Mansion, Mario, Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. Like,
everything's a port except Normal Heroes, yeah, and sushi.
Like, yikes. Okay, so South Park, I think that's a good get for the Switch.
South Park?
I know it's late, and I know, like, it's not my cup of tea, but it's April 24th. I think it's a good get. 2 reasons. One, it's Ubisoft coming on board. Same reason I got to give Crash a little bit more love. I like to see these big publishers bring in some stuff. You have to imagine that these ports clear the way for more at E3, or do you think E3 is just a replica of this with later dates?
No, I think this is clearing the way. I think that was the point of this.
Yeah.
Direct. I think that get these out of the way now, so when E3 time comes around, this isn't something you have to focus on at all.
And I guess it's nice that they are, trying to really fill up April, May, and June. By all accounts, February, March are a little bare. You are getting Bayonetta and you are getting Kirby. May, though, is packed. They're trying to throw some stuff in June and then July even. I gotta like that. I gotta like filling the summer months, a 3-pack of months that are typically ignored. All in all, that covers everything. I mean, let's give a little bit, I guess, time to Smash. We made dedicated videos, but that was shocking to me. I fully felt like that was an E3 level announcement. you can see the full video, and I think it's a port with new content. Gabe thinks it could be a brand new game. Regardless, it's coming 2018, which is glorious.
Yeah, probably September, October. I think that's the consensus that everybody thinks.
I think it has to tie into the online service. I think it's very weird that like Smash Brothers for Switch is coming out in 2018 and Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is coming 2019.
Yeah.
Inklings are unveiled, and Link is clearly the updated Breath of the Wild Link, which I really like this idea that it's going to... We don't know where that stops, right? They could modify other characters as well. So this could really sort of be a reworked version of the last Smash with added content. I think that's kind of a really cool concept. Like, almost like an updated Smash with new stuff.
Yeah, I think they didn't show it, but I think we get an ARMS character and some other cool stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking, I feel like 4 characters would be like a fair guess. You think? 4 new characters?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see.
I mean, I don't think just the Inklings, right? That would be like...
Well, yeah, because if the Link isn't a new character, if it's just a skin, then...
Or is he replaced? Like, to me, that's the most interesting part of that trailer is that Link a skin, B, a new character, or C, replacing Link?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have some more time to try to keep guessing and figure that out. And they're going to keep dropping trailers. You mentioned in the other video that we made that, again, people should go check out, that they do like dropping like character trailers and, here comes a new fighter type thing. I do think we also get a new third-party character of some kind. So
that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean... What is there to say? It's super exciting. It's super awesome. Getting to take Smash Bros. On the go is going to be phenomenal. It's clearly going to be a focal point of their E3, not only their presentation, but also their show floor space. I wonder, Gabriel, if this clears the way for Pokemon to have the spotlight of announcements at E3.
It might, right? I mean, what else is left?
Because you're not going to leave E3 without some major announcement, right? And Metroid Prime has already been announced. There's not going to be a 3D Mario for a while or a big Zelda. Smash Brothers drops in a March Direct. I don't know what can carry weight.
Pokemon's never been announced at E3. The Pokemon company typically doesn't even mess with E3. That's not something they partake in. So
it could be big.
Yeah. Well,
I know that it's still up in the air of whether it comes out, but I feel like now Smash Brothers, I mean, this was my prediction before, but I feel like Smash Brothers and Pokemon are the tentpole titles for fall 2018. Briefly, Gabe, some things that were not there.
Okay.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4?
That's where I was going to start. Call of Duty. I told you before the Direct happened, I don't think Call of Duty's coming to Switch. I mean, we have no indication of it.
I still feel like it could.
Why wouldn't they say it?
Because here's the deal. Activision was asked, and they said, we have no update right now. They could easily say it's not coming to Switch.
Yeah.
A Spanish game store, a verified account on Twitter, said for now you can pre-order the game on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. I don't know.
I'll be very happy if it happens. I look forward to it.
Two chances. There is the May 17th Call of Duty Palooza reveal event, and there's also E3, and it could be part of Nintendo's show. If we're to believe that third parties are getting some fluff out the way here with stuff like Okami and South Park, bigger titles could be laying in the wings, waiting in the wings at E3.
What I'll say about this is, historically, Call of Duty is at Xbox or PlayStation, later now, because they have the DLC exclusivity, things like that. I don't know if that allows them to come to a Nintendo show. I mean, it'll be a Direct, so.
I mean, Nintendo will be going last, so it's going to be a Direct, and that kind of little just like cue card thing. I think that's fully legal. I would hope. Fire Emblem. That was one that people were pretty confident was going to be here today.
Yeah. A lot of the leakers were wrong about a few things. Mario Odyssey DLC is another thing that was missing. Fire Emblem's probably an E3 thing, right? It's coming this year. We know that. They have to announce it at some point.
I think there's a bigger discussion here, but to me, I now feel like there could be another Direct.
Before E3?
Yeah.
Possible.
I don't know that Fire Emblem fits at E3. I mean, I guess it depends on how much stuff they got going on.
It's become an ever increasingly popular franchise.
Do they perhaps do a dedicated 15-minute Fire Emblem Direct that gives updates on Heroes and then unveils Switch?
Could be. Heroes is thriving. That's their most profitable mobile game.
they continue to pump out content for that. So maybe they have a big update, and they also then utilize that opportunity to reveal. I mean, we had an Animal Crossing mobile direct. So, and we had a Fire Emblem direct last year. So, I mean, there's nothing to say that couldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, Gabe, this show was
saved by Smash. This would have been people would have been very angry if it wasn't for Smash.
Because if you remove Smash, yes, the Splatoon 2 stuff is very cool, but it is DLC. So if you remove Smash, then we got to hear a lot about special shot types in Mario Tennis Aces, and we got a lot of like just ports and a weird 3DS lineup. So I don't know. Like at some point, are you confused why Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and not Mario Maker? Why Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and not Wonderful 101? I mean, I don't know what is going on with Wonderful 101. Kamiya seems to troll us every single time there is an E3 a direct. I'm sorry, a direct. Maybe those are safe for E3. Again, I think the glass half full is like, hey, they were getting a lot of stuff out the way, and the first half of the year is the less exciting stuff, and the second half is the more exciting stuff. No Yoshi was here, which I think that's going to be at E3. And to me, that must be a later title. Like, it's definitely not coming anytime soon.
No, I mean, we don't even have a name for the game, so.
Right. But okay, we can't remove Smash. So given Smash, what is your overall thoughts and your letter grade for this direct?
I give it a solid B, a very solid B. I've never played Okami. To me, that's a new game. I mean, I know it's not new. It's a PS2 game, but for me, it's new. I didn't play Fractured But Whole. This gives me a good opportunity to do that. Undertale, I did play, so that does nothing for me. Hyrule Warriors, I'm not crazy excited about it. Smash, and the Splatoon thing, man. That's cool. I love those things, and we're getting solid third-party support in the form of other games that might not be what I want, but they're coming. Little Nightmares is a good one. So B is what I'm giving it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the expectations were set insanely high by leakers and by Twitter. But if you look at it, you can kind of swap and replace all of their list of leaks. You replace Fire Emblem with Smash. You replace Mario Odyssey DLC with Splatoon 2 DLC. You replace Call of Duty with stuff like Crash and South Park. And then if I don't think that, Fire Emblem and Mario Odyssey and that stuff is coming, it seems to be a better show. I feel like Smash Brothers, as you mentioned, elevates this immensely. But I really like WarioWare Gold. And maybe I'm reading too much into the Luigi Mansion thing. I'm a little worried about where that places Virtual Console, and specifically GameCube Virtual Console, since that's something we've wanted for a while. I find the Test Punch odd, but I'm glad they're embracing the game. And I do like we are getting a Tennis Aces tournament. I think that game looks far better than I expected. The ports still wear on me, and I'm starting to feel a little fatigue of year-old titles. Some of them are still enticing, some of them not. I've played these games, so from a non-biased perspective of someone that didn't play these. Yeah, Captain Toad and Okami and South Park and Dark Souls and Little Nightmares and Undertale, Hyrule. I haven't played Undertale, but I've played the rest. I'll go with a B+. I feel like A-. You know what? You drop Smash Brothers. I feel like it's too cool how they're supporting Splatoon 2. It's too cool how they are continuing to emphasize ARMS. It's too cool that Mario Tennis Aces is that deep and that fleshed out. And then Smash. I think it gives great hope for what E3 will bear, and to think this direct out of nowhere on a random March Thursday was going to give us an E3 size portion of brand new announcements maybe was silly. So I'll say A-.
Topic for another time, but leakers of any kind and Twitter and all of this, it does more harm than good, especially when a lot of these things don't end up being true. Like, we build this hype for ourselves, and it's unfortunate, but luckily I'm still really excited about a lot of this stuff.
By all accounts, Smash Brothers is bigger than any leak prediction.
Yeah.
So in that sense, Nintendo is very clever how they structure these things, because they really packed it in with some ports and some things that weren't as exciting, but then they they bring it home. And I'm just interested now what E3 will hold. So let us know your take on this direct, March 8th, 2018. B from Gabe, A- from me. Smash, super cool Splatoon Octo expansion that by their press release looks massive. And a whole lot more. Let us know what your highlights were, your favorite moments. Obviously, it's going to be Smash, but if there's anything else that stands out to you, I'm oddly excited for WarioWare Gold. I can't wait to play that on August 3rd. And Gabe, I'm going to make sure that you play it as well. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch, the next Direct, E3, and all these games when they unveil themselves onto our own systems and we get to play. Until then, though, join us on Discord, join us on Twitter, links in the description. You know the drill. For myself and Gabe, we love you. Switch Force